is the process of getting back to fit and getting ready for games going?
Yeah, it's been really good. I think all the planning that we did prior to the break has kind of laid out, and having a scrimmage game with Nashville, a lot of the things that we've been talking about, in particular managing game, defensive set pieces, but really just controlling the game with the ball was really, really good in that display. So, incremental steps, continuing to focus on the final third and on our final third and box defending. And, I think if we get those two things right, we'll start the second part of the campaign off on a good note.
New player in town, Saba. I won't attempt his last name yet, but what are your thoughts on what he brings to the club, and where will you use him?
Yeah, so Saba's a guy that has a wealth of experience. Obviously, played in the Euros, has had a really great career. Typically has played in a winger, and in those setups he felt really comfortable coming inside. And so I think he adds some good depth and experience in the 10 position. But also if we're pushing for a game and maybe want to move Gozo to a more central position, just being an out-and-out wing back with obviously, for chasing a result, being more a winger than a wing back, but has a great physical capacity, has an eye for goal, good on set pieces. So he brings a different flavor of dynamism in those pockets, a guy with experience and a guy that's going to definitely push for a lot of minutes as we have a lot of games in the second part of the season.
So shaking off the rust, what has been anything surprising with this extended break that you like, things you don't like?
No, it's really, it started off with the guys coming in fit, and for me that shows a lot of desire to start the second part of the campaign off on the right foot. Camaraderie with the group has been awesome. Went on a team hike yesterday, and oftentimes you have guys sniveling about why are we doing this, but we got to the waterfall and the guys wanted to sit there for about a half hour and really enjoy the moment with each other. And so, all things are pointing in a great direction, and trying to add some wrinkles on the offensive side, and the guys are taking it on in stride. Again, we got to continue to evolve what we did in the first part of the season. Teams have video now. They've seen what we do. They're going to set up for us. So how can we stay one step ahead on both sides of the ball to be able to add a different variable to our attack and our defense? And the guys are taking it in stride. So it's been a really good mini preseason. And again, look to have a good scrimmage tomorrow, and then obviously go to Minnesota on Wednesday, and that would be a great barometer as to where we're at.
What are your thoughts on the World Cup? I asked you before, but it seems like it's just gaining more and more momentum within the United States.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yesterday I was, I think John O'Brien started a thread from 2002, and so there's like 20 guys on that thread, and so it's not only captivated the minds of the layman sports fan in America, but it's reunited old friends and from different generations getting back together. So I get goosebumps thinking about it, man, because I think we've been talking about this moment, and I think we're living in the moment where soccer really becomes one of the premier sports in America, and the fact that the U.S. team is doing really, really well, and they're playing with the American mentality, I think is going to make the younger sports fan dream of maybe participating in a World Cup. So I think we're in the midst of this tidal wave that we don't even feel we're in, and it's a moment of time. And then you have Lewandowski coming to Chicago. I mean, the Messi's playing in MLS and is Golden Boot guy for the World Cup. So there's a lot of positive momentum, and just in awe of what it's done to going to sports bars and just watching people, and it doesn't matter what game's on, celebrating soccer, man. It's been an amazing experience.
Last thing for me, how far does the U.S. go, and who are the two countries you see in the final?
That's a tough one. To be honest, I don't know how the groups are laid out. I haven't looked that far ahead. I think U.S. has a great test against Belgium, but I feel like we're in better form than Belgium. I would say I'd like to see, and again, I don't know if U.S. and Mexico are on different sides of the bracket, but I think that you could see potentially U.S. and Mexico in a Final Four in the semis of this World Cup. And then obviously you have the other teams that can do it, but just seeing what Senegal has, how they played Belgium, how Congo played England. This is a tournament that's almost set up for what we consider an underdog to make a big splash. And I think Mexico and the U.S. with the home field advantage are playing unbelievable football. So I think those two teams are going to be in the semis, and I'm not going to give you the finals, but I'll give you that those two teams will be in the semis.
Always rumors about players coming and going. Where's the momentum for that? Is it players leaving, or are we going to see more players coming in?
Yeah, the only thing I can say to that is the window's just now heating up, and so there's going to be a ton of rumors. And for me as a coach, I honestly received some texts from some Premier League teams wanting to know about players, and so what I do is I just send them Kurt Schmidt's information. I don't get involved in that. My only job is to concern myself with the players that we have in the building and make sure they get all the love, the care from myself and the coaching staff to put them in the best position to be successful. You know, I think rumors are a dangerous thing to follow, and until a player's in or a player's out, I'm not believing any of them.
Thanks.